That's what I thought.
They get that ranch. Did she climb through the window? She didn't climb through the window. Did she climb through the window? She climbed through the window.
Ghetto culture is synonymous with the inability to resolve conflict in a mature way, right? If you get in some sort of altercation with a ghetto individual, a ratchet individual, a dysfunctional, toxic individual, you will likely be met with hands, right? They will jump directly to some sort of physical altercation. They're not going to use their words. They're not going to think through and rationalize whether or not this is worth it or not. Instead, they would throw everything else out. I mean, I'm talking about, there's a reason why the word crash out became a thing, or at least has become such a mainstream, overly used type of term, is because these folks are really crashing out. And what we're about to get into right now is an exact example of that. Because sometimes when I talk about this ghetto culture, you know, some folks think I'm just making it up. Oh, I'm just racist. I'm racist towards my own. Well, I never made it about simply race. I said that there is a specific demographic of individuals who happen to be accepting this sort of behavior more than most, but it is a cultural thing. That's why I call it ghetto culture, right? I didn't subscribe it to a race. You can go into the damn Ozarks, find the hillbillies over there. Likely the same type of activities are taking place in those types of environments. But it just so happens that we are finding more and more of these types of situations coming from these types of individuals. And by golly, if it's happening, then we're going to talk about it. We're going to get into it, not just for the drama's sake, but to really take away key lessons from all of this. Because I believe life is the greatest teacher, right? Everything can teach us about ourselves and to at least inspire us to move different, to at least take responsibility for our lives, to make decisions that are going to add to our future and those around us, those are responsible for, you know, as well as the greater society. That's the only way we make a difference. So this eventually ends. We got to shame it, folks. We got to shame it. Now, the video I'm about to show y'all, I don't even know if I can show all of it, but essentially, this is a woman who goes into a store. She goes into a fast food joint, goes behind the counter into the kitchen to go and get her own ranch because they left the ranch out. Again, conflict resolution. Normal human being. Ranch is left out of your order. What do? Do you start swinging on the staff? You know, we're gonna make this a multiple choice test right now. All right, you order some fries and a burger, whatever the hell it is, and they forget your sauce. So option A, throw hands with staff. Option B, run behind the counter and start throwing a damn tantrum. Option C, ask for some ranch. Which one of those three right there is? Which one of those three? All right, y'all let me know in the comments below. Till then, let's.
How she got in there?
How you know what the fucking window?
Yeah.
Hey, where's my ranch at? I was talking to you your face, bitch. I was talking about get it. All right. You better get my shit. That's what I thought.
They get that ranch. Did she climb through the window? She didn't climb through the window. Did she climb through the window? She climbed through the window. Oh, twerk for me.
I didn't hear it with the original audio when I first saw this. You got a dude egging this behavior. So look, this is perfect. This is actually better than I thought. You not only have the ratchet, foul behavior of this alleged human being, alleged, based on behavior. I can only assume that it's questionable, right? Then behind the camera, you got somebody who looks like they jumped over the counter themselves and are egging on not just. She twerked while climbing through the drive-thru window. Folks, somebody left me a comment maybe a couple months back, and it was a video where I said, we're tired of the twerking and the dysfunction, etc., right? And somebody said, damn, people really like are twerking in public or like in restaurants, etc. Since then, I have seen videos of people twerking on top of bus stops and the whole thing just topples because there's multitudes of people there. I have seen, before that, I've seen somebody twerking at the hospital next to their dying grandparent, filming it for the internet. And now, I think that's the most disgusting one, by the way. But now I have basically seen it all. Not just in the restaurant, but in the drive-thru window. What type of human being is this? Like, I actually genuinely want to have a therapist sort of sit down interview with this individual. I have to. There is no way that there is anything processing normally in the mind of somebody who goes through that entire sequence of events. These are the types of individuals, when you hear, such and such happened to this person at this time on this date, this and this person got a live hearing. That's the type of person I'm not surprised to see being the culprit, being the suspect. I would almost guarantee that this woman has committed crimes throughout her life. She's the person who is running up in Walmart. She's the reason why Walmarts and Walgreens had to lock up certain products throughout California, throughout New York. She is that. She is the archetype for that. Now, there is still time to go in this video. I don't know if there's more that's going on, but we're just going to play it through and then I'm just going to collect myself because I was not ready for all of that.
Thank you, sorry, thank you. Fuck off, wait.
That's the one to make my right? Right? Call the police! Because I'm not getting back out of here until you call the police. Call the police! Jack! Minder! Call the police! 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 You're racist and you're wasting my time. Call the police! Black Lives Matter! Call the police! I'm not gonna hit anybody. Shut the fuck up, you guys.
I know that's a whole different video. The superpower of the so-called woke activist, how do they find racism in every single nook, cranny? I'm talking about every molecule. Subatomic racism is what these people find throughout the entirety of the known and unknown universe. The part of the universe that was snapped out of existence by Thanos, they are able to find racism in that part that no longer exists anymore. That was condensed down to a fine powder. These individuals will find racism in. She is walking behind the counter, yelling at these folks, yet they are the problem. Offended by everything, ashamed of nothing. That's the new slogan that's being thrown around nowadays, right? Offended by everything, ashamed of nothing. These people make it so hard to be black. God honest truth. People think that it's the racist, it's the no. These people make it difficult. When the rest of the world watches, that's just not the rest of America, the rest of the world tunes in and they see that. This is why I go so hard, because I know there are so many folks out there who are so tired. Black folks galore who are so tired of this minstrel show. They call us the sellouts. They call us the Uncle Toms, the white supremacists. If that be the case, then I call this animalistic buffoonery. What are we... And the second chick, her situation seemed far less severe because of what the first chick was doing. And I assume it's a different chick. Let me see. They look like they were dressed in quite similar attire. Okay, yeah, they're definitely different. Not much. Sometimes it takes me a while to just process what I am even seeing. It's when I'm actually, sometimes I have the ability to kind of disassociate a little bit in order for me to be able to report on these things. But then when it really hits me, when I'm actually watching fully and I digest it, like, that part of me that hasn't been desensitized over the years by seeing so much of this whacked out, wicked weirdness, the WWW. When I'm actually just processing it, I am baffled, folks. Like, I'm mind blown, but I'm also slightly heartbroken. Like, what is this? What is it to not have ranch or anything? Like, you could leave the burger out of a burger order and I will have no damn business jumping over the counter, starting to basically square up for folks, jump out the damn little window. This has to all be for attention. And that shows you how dangerous the chasing of clout has become. It has become almost the catalyst, the fuel to the fire of the epidemic that is this degeneracy that we see in front of us here. Because maybe the person who's filming is one of her own people. Maybe they came in ready to up it up. Oh, we gonna show them. They left my ranch. They left my ranch. Y'all could leave my burger out of a burger order. And I would have not even an inkling to do anything besides come back into the establishment and say, hey, I ordered a burger and there was no burger in here. It's really that simple. Oh, we're sorry, sir. Here's your burger. Oh, you ordered the burger. Gave you the wrong order. Boom, boom. I'm out of there. There is not one fractile, one iota of me, one molecule within me that says, let me jump over, let me start a fight, let me damn near put hands on people, and then jump out of the little window, twerk on somebody's order, basically, because that's what you're doing. You're putting all your nastiness there. And I can only assume what type of nastiness this person's carrying with them, right? That right there, folks, is exactly why I do what I do, why I speak on the ghetto culture, the criminal culture. I would consider that as breaking and entering. I would put suits on you. I don't know if y'all remember the chick who did the same thing at Chipotle, just as disgusting as a display. She came in there, big back, right? Came in there like a silverback. Y'all ain't give me enough chicken. I'm going to put my own chicken. Y'all ain't she took everything but the lettuce. You understand me? Everything but the lettuce was taken out of that next order that she packed herself after jumping over that damn counter. She started loading up her own food, throwing it, right? I mean, look, Chipotle finesses you when it comes to the meat. They give you this much meat for that much everything else. I get that. Rice about this big, meat about that much. I get it. But never, not once have I thought to myself, you know what? Let me get my big back self over the counter. Not once in my entire existence have I had that thought cross my mind, period. And that shows that there's a different level of software that is running in these individuals than the everyday person. And if you got somebody like this in your life, you need to cut them off immediately. They are dangerous people, and you're going to end up in an effed up situation because of them. I promise you. You need to cut these individuals out of your own life or else. I don't know who this is speaking to. My spirit has been quickened right now. There's somebody out there right now who has this sort of individual in their life, and you're making excuses for them. But you don't understand. They're my brother. They're my sister. It's my mother. I don't give a damn if it's grandma, big mama. If they are that dysfunctional and unable to regulate their emotions, they're going to get you in a situation. You understand me? And there are people sitting in a prison right now or laying up in a cemetery who are in that situation because of somebody they did not separate themselves from. It's a God honest truth. They did not separate themselves from the toxic elements in their surrounding. And guess what? They became the casualty. You must remove this spirit from your household. Your children to be, your family, your real family, the ones you're kindred with. Some of them may not even be blood, but they're your family, like your husband, your wife, etc. The ones in your household, under your jurisdiction, will be greatly affected by the energetics that you bring into your house. You bring that energy right there, that spirit right there. That's a devious spirit right there. I don't care if it's just for clout. Anybody who's willing to do that in public, imagine what they're willing to do behind closed doors. That's what I always think about. When I see some dysfunctional, just whatever behavior, I say, you're doing this in public. What the hell are you capable of in private? I would not be surprised if we heard a story of this very same individual. 24-year-old Sharquisha arrested on charges of I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I learned that early on, around 19, almost 20 years old, when I went sober. Almost 10 years ago now. Literally, it will be 10 years on September 1st this year that I've been sober. So, yeah. But there was a moment that I just realized, bro, if you continue to be around these people, they're going to take you down with them. And I was choosing, but there was a time I became sober. I was still trying to cling on to the relationships that I had built. These are my brothers, my 10 years. I had grown up with them, and I felt responsible for them. I was not willing to untether from those relationships, to cut the cord, until I basically had no other option. And, one of my homeboys, we had to bury him last year. May he rest in paradise. But his father called me maybe two to 3 years after I gotten sober, and he was losing it. He was losing about his own son, saying he hoped I wasn't hanging out with his son. Mind you, his pops was a respected, well-known blood in, Northern California. So he was from those elements, but he always saw something in me, and he called me. I was on a JC campus. I think it was like my second JC, because I dropped out of 3 of them. It wasn't really for me. And he's going in and he's saying, boy, you better not be with you better not be with my son. You better not be doing this. And he was reporting the things that were going on with him and my other homeboys that I had cut off by that point. And I told him, I promised, like, I haven't been around them. I'm at school, etc. And to hear this man who came from what he came from, being that fearful for my life, showed me that I'd made the correct decision. And not a year passes from that day, and one of my homeboys loses his life. 3 years later, another one. The next year, or a year and a half later, another one. And at the funeral, I ended up running into my other homeboy who was a part of that. And he's telling me that in the last 10 years, he's been in and out of jail. That's been his life. We hadn't been in contact, but that's been his experience. When I talk about these things, I'm not saying them from a soapbox. I know sometimes, we can get comical with it or whatever it is, but this is what I'm being called to do, to tell the truth, and being able to tell the truth from a place of experience. These things have unfortunate consequences every time. This type of lifestyle, this life cycle will be cut drastically short if we continue to perpetuate this and we allow this. I'm not willing to not shame it anymore, folks. I'm not willing to not. I don't care if you think I'm a sellout. I don't care if you think that I'm a white supremacist and I don't care. I care, and you might misunderstand me and where I'm coming from, but I'm perfectly fine with that if it means at least saving the child who's going to come behind you, at least saving the individual who is ready to be in that place. And I'm not saving them. They're going to save themselves, but at least me speaking to something that brings a level of consciousness and awareness. Just because you want to hate the message and it triggers you doesn't mean I'm going to stop. I have one purpose in this life, and that is to tell the truth. Every single day that I live is to live as the truth and to tell the truth. I also made myself a promise early on that if I'm ever going to open my mouth, it better be things that I'm living. That's why I have not yet talked about, making your first million. I'm on the way there, but I haven't spoken on that yet. I can tell you how to make, your first 10K, I can, whatever it is, if I decide to go that way, right? But I'll tell you how to make 1 million when I get to 1 million, how to make 10 when I get to 10, 100 million. But these are the things that I talk about because these are the things that I've experienced. These are the things that I've honed in. These are the things that I have contemplated and studied and delved deep into for years of my life. Having to recreate myself over and over again. Having to investigate why it is that I fell into these addictions in the first place. And how did I get myself to the place that I am now? I never went to rehab, none of that. I had, dark nights of the soul type of shit happening. I had things that I couldn't explain then, but now I understand that I took myself through an identity shift, and that's how I ended up on the other side. And so, again, my purpose is very clear, to tell the truth and to live that truth. Simple. And nothing and nobody is going to stop that. I don't care what you feel about it. If you want me gone, cancel, it's never going to stop. I will continue to show up so long as I have life, period.
I used to be afraid of the dark, place unknown like a heart in their heart. I used to see my life in the bar, now the kids unchained, every shackle is lost. 2 steps in the moonlight, 2 step in the daytime. You just know when it feel right. You got a feeling the time's not. See you through those shades that I just threw on. Through my lenses, you just can't do no wrong. I fell in love with myself again. I fell in love with myself. I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light. You can see the life in him illuminate the night. I know the time is taking. A 3, 6, 5, that's a full rotation. I see you looking up, you know them constellations. Constantly gazing like counts of praises, you get to praising. They see your light shine, that's why they so frustrated. Even the sofa in Nova Scotia will win the bagels. I couldn't get them ease on the grease, why they burning up. Money growing trees, feel a breeze, still you show.